Public Space Association, PSA. Got a button on the website. Non-profit, the development of the capture and mining of space, of meteors and asteroids. Our first principle, though, is advocacy for the fair use of space, advocacy for the poor. Okay? It needs to happen because everybody, all these people talking about the commercial this and the commercial that of space and this and that, how much profit can be made, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, how about this? How many poor people can we give houses to out in space? Right?
Right.
Oh, where is it? Oh, here. Here. There's a space station. Right there. Have a space station where it's big enough where it's like, okay, here's a perspective. Here's a human. Here's how tall a human is, right? This side length of this screw. Okay. Now, let's say that the diameter of the space station is more like this. Okay?
Okay.
Here, like that. Now, you're doing this to get to gravity, one gravity. Why whole? You want one whole gravity. Why? Because that way a pound up there at your home where you're living equals a pound.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So here's the whole idea. You get dwelling in space. Ultimately, we want robots doing stuff, but there's people that can drive robots. Lots of people that can run these video games. They can drive drones.
Yeah.
They can drive drones to mine the asteroids. They can live in a space station in space, and guess what? Here's one of the beautiful things of it. Guess what? You're out there spinning like this in space. You got your gravity zone here, right?
Right.
All right. So you're going to earn primary points, pay for your basic needs,
Okay.
just by living in the gravity zones. The more time you spend in the gravity zone, the more points you earn. If you take breaks from the gravity zone, you go play in a park. They're not going to pay you to play in a park. But the park's in the middle, see? All the way down the whole thing, down that middle, to be open space. And that's the anti-gravity part. And you get in there, and, you're going to be, well, of course, if this is spinning out here like this, and you're out here at 1 revolution per second to equal 1 gravity, okay? All right?
Okay.
That's what that, the tilt-a wheel gets you almost to 1 gravity. And it runs about 55 RPM. Anyway, so you're out here and you got that one, you got gravity force, artificial gravity force, you got gravity all the way around, and you got lesser gravity zones through and through, older people could live in, therapeutic zones, limited gravity zones. Why is there less? Because you get closer to the core, the closer you get, the less centrifugal force there's going to be, because your speed, your angular velocity is different because it's a different arc. It's the same arc but a different radius. Now, let's go to commercial applications for a big space station. How about people who want to build their bodies up? We have vacation spots where you can live in 2 times Earth gravity, where 1 pound equals 2 pounds. Spend 6 months in 2 times Earth gravity. Right? Thing is, our other goal, perfecting principles of how to get there without going the big rocket. Right? Super important. I mean, isn't it? Super important, ain't it? Huh? We don't want no big rockets no more. Neither do the extraterrestrials. But they don't want to get shot at anymore. They'll say that. Be their advocate too. See, Public Space Association, they're part of our public too. In case you didn't know, they're part of the space public. They don't want to get shot at no more. They're tired of it. They'd rather be friends.
Yeah.
They want to have the party on the back side of the moon. When the Earth is in the dark side of the moon, they want to be on the bright side of the moon, listening to the dark side of the moon, smoking a spliff with us, listening to some Bob Marley too. These space stations, here's Earth. Oh, this is too big. Okay, pretend this little ball, Christmas ball is Earth. No, that's Earth. Okay, this is Earth. Really, I'm serious. This is Earth. Okay, see that? All right, now around Earth, there's a lot of different zones. There's a zone where you could decide to be a little further out from Earth. In your orbit, you would go around, your year would be 455 days. You'd have a 500-day year. But here's basically, you'd have observation areas here, right? Where you can go up in the zero gravity zones and hang out, so you're not subject to that RPM, to that going around once every second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on the very ends, and go up in the gravity park, and you want to see, you want to look at the Earth or the sun, and look out like that, because that whole surface be covered with solar voltaic panels, and also it would have you can have it set up so light could get in for for farming, bring the light in down tunnels and reflect it back, so that what will happen is all the trees and the plants and anything you're growing in the greenhouse section will have every second they'll have a day will last a half a second. It'll be like this. You do this, right? You take and point your here. I'll do it this way. You're inside the space station. Okay? And you're looking at, this is the plants. This is what the plants would get. Okay? When it's going around this way, they get shade. Come around this way, they get sun. Around this way, they get shade. Sun. Shade. Sun. And about like that. Actually more like that. Alright, so now I feel on my hand about the same way as it feels here. And that was just a little more than 1 revolution per second. Remember our experiments we did? We've got to replicate those on a camera and show the world. And, the ones that said it was 30 cycles per second, 30 revolutions per minute, that's 1/2 cycle per second, are wrong. They figured out using math, their math was wrong. My experiments show a different result. And you're witness to it. Because you counted with me. This one here, remember? This, the little bottle, the little whiskey bottle, little rock in the whiskey bottle. As it goes around, not enough. Okay? Not enough. Barely enough. You can see it. You can hear it going. Shifting side to side. Now it's going to slow down. You start hearing it drop. Anyway, that point where it's shifting side to side, now it's starting to fall. But you can see it floating in space as it's going down. It doesn't fall all the way down. See? So it slows down more. It falls down in the bottle even further. Okay. Anyway, when that's up there where it's not, where it's at absolute disconnection from gravity, right there where you can barely hear it tick, is 65 revolutions per minute, which is just a little over 1 cycle per second, or 1 revolution per second. Just a little over 1 revolution per second. Well, you know what I figured I've been doing, checking it again, double checking, and for the horizontal, well, here on Earth's gravity, to get the horizontal action, to get where you're spinning it around this way and you're perfectly horizontal, this, okay, that's a lot. You watch. See, it's sagging at that RPM. Okay, sagging. Watch how fast we gotta get going before it even levels out. See? But you know what? See, here's what we determine. You gotta take and subtract just a little bit. Out there in space, it'll be less. Because part of the reason why it's got to get to level is because of the pull of gravity this way. We're not, you got to be going a little bit more centrifugal force out that way to overcome the pull to get to perfectly level, to have complete disconnection. Still fast. But that's why it needs to be so huge. The thing needs to be humongous. So when you're inside the thing, and it's going around, boom, boom, boom. Of course, the sun's right there, so then you're in here like this, right? You won't feel that. Big enough where you look across the way, and it doesn't even look as exaggerated as this does. You look across the way, and it looks more like this. As a matter of fact, it could be divided up so you don't have the rounded sections. You have sections of, say, 15, 20 acres at a time in a big square. And then 15 acres, and then another 15 acres. Or another 15 acres. So you got 15 acres of flat land before you hit another section where you're at 15 acres of flat land. Now the cool thing is that could be structured together. That could be structured together with, I don't have another tray, but it's structured together like this, where okay, here. Alright, so here's a 15-acre square. The piece of wood, or the piece of metal, here will represent another 15-acre square. Okay? The piece of wood represents the girder that connects them. See how that structure would come together?
Okay.
And you'd have this huge, big, flat land. There could be houses, stores. I mean, ultimately, our organization wants to have mankind supersede the need for an economy or bartering even. We have so much resources available in all the asteroids and the meteors. Learn to capture them. Learn to recycle the space junk. Capture and recycle space junk. Part of our program too. Public Space Association. Okay? Advocacy for the poor. The poor have a place in space. And lots of housing. Never have. We're our goal. To have people get born into this world not obligated. Entitled to a life. Entitled to be able to go through life and choose your tasks, not to be impinged upon by society to do stuff. Oh, you got to do what you got to do. Oh, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta go give up your dreams and ruin your tendons doing some stupid labor job while that labor job is ripping you off of your abilities to produce and express yourself in your arts. Now, that's what mankind's currently doing to people.
Yes.